Welcome to Behind the Scenes with Enphase, where each month we interview the experts leading the trends and technology that's advancing scholarly, scientific, and professional research. Today's topic is blockchain and why it will be important to your business. I'm Marcy Granahan, Executive Director of Enphase, and joining me today is Jason Griffey, an affiliate fellow at the Berkman Klein Center for Internet and Society at Harvard University. Jason is a librarian, technology consultant, and the principal behind a really cool open source project called Library Box.
Hi, Jason. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, thanks so much for having me on.
Why do you think blockchain technology will be so important to libraries and the researchers they serve?
Blockchain's important for a lot of kind of reasons. I mean, I'm a technologist as well as a librarian, so the technology is fascinating. But as far as the services that are going to be built on top of that technology, I think the piece that comes with blockchain and blockchain-like technologies that I'm most interested in is the decentralization, or maybe the re-decentralization of web properties, of the abilities of the web to communicate and tie us together. The web has gone through, obviously, a huge amount of growth over the last 30 years, and part of that has been sort of a capture, in many ways, of our ability to communicate through mostly large corporate interests. Places like Facebook, Twitter become the de facto place where all communication kind of runs through. And one of the kind of core principles of blockchain technologies, generally speaking, is their ability to be decentralized, for data to be shared amongst many different sources, nearly an infinite number of people, and to have those programmatically talk to each other without any central server.
How might blockchain-based technologies change the information economy in terms of permissions and intellectual property?
My interest in blockchain really kind of came to light when I was looking into it very early, 2014 or so, and realized that the existing example of something built on the blockchain, like, again, Bitcoin, allowed for a sort of digital scarcity. That it was the first example I'd ever seen of the ability for a digital good to be unique, to be limited. The great grand hope of digital media is that it's infinitely reproducible, right? But with Bitcoin, you can't take a Bitcoin, you can't take an ownership of a Bitcoin and spend it twice. You can only spend it once. And so that kind of scarcity driven by the blockchain, the public-private key encryption, the proof of work, all of that comes together to give us a tool that might be able to put a different spin on how digital media is understood, digital books, digital movies, that sort of thing. And that is that one of the reasons that libraries exist in the first place is because of something we have here in the US called the first sale principle, which means that if you have an object, you can do with it what you want. You can lend it, you can rent it, you can give it away, you can resell it. So that's available for libraries when they buy a physical book, but it's not available when they buy a digital book. And I think that having this provable scarcity, having this ability to say, no, this is this book, we have proof, we have a blockchain-driven proof that we have it, we own it, and it is this copy that we are now giving to this other library, or giving to this patron, may allow us to make some decent arguments in the courts for the ability to do sort of digital first sale. And digital first sale is not something we've ever had. That's not something that that's been available in the past. I think blockchain and blockchain-like technologies that do allow for this sort of digital scarcity of electronic goods may give us a little lever to start playing around with some more interesting intellectual property rights with digital stuff.
There seems to be a lot of opportunity. There also seems to be an explosion of venture capital startups offering blockchain-based services recently. Is there any advice you want to share for navigating the current environment?
I do think that this is a piece of technology that will mature fairly quickly, 2 to 3 years. I think we'll start seeing some maturity in the area, and begin to see some kind of winners, right, float to the surface as people find them and take advantage of the services that they provide. I think the big thing is that when the winners start really surfacing, most libraries especially, but publishers as well perhaps, won't really even know that they're blockchain based. I think the blockchain right now is a hot word, right? It's very very high on the hype cycle as far as technologies go. When the web exploded, some of those technologies were really exciting, but they didn't really. Nobody realizes that they're using TCP/IP and HTTP when they are buying something from Amazon. Nobody cares about the protocols underneath the service that they're using. I think that's going to be the case with blockchain eventually, but I think it's going to take a little while for that to all kind of settle out. I think 2 or 3 years we'll start to see some winners and losers, and it'll be a little easier to make some decisions about where to put our services that ride on top of these new companies.
We're out of time for today, but thanks for joining us. If you have any questions for Jason Griffey, you can ask them below. If you like today's session, give us a thumbs up. And if you want to learn more about blockchain, join Enphase on May 15th through 16th in Old Town Alexandria at our Blockchain for Scholarly Publishing Conference.
Go to www.enphase.org for more information.
Thanks for watching. We hope you'll join us next time.